Hello world of YouTube. Happy birthday to Section 80. My favorite Kendrick album turns 10 tomorrow. So to celebrate that, I was originally going to do another reflective video talking about Section 80, but I figured I already did a reflection recently on K. Dot that kind of inspired this video in tandem with that one. And I've also talked about it a lot here and there on my channel, so I figured why not do something different, make one more video talking about Kendrick Lamar, at least for now, and just talk about my favorite songs from Kung Fu Kenny, from K. Dot, from the kid from Compton, the Compton Kid. Needs a little introduction if you're watching my channel. These are my top 11 favorite Kendrick Lamar songs. I got a lot of honorable mentions listed out in the description because this video was incredibly hard to make. But let's go ahead and get going.
What a rapper, what it goes right. Tell me what happened to you. Oh, no. I swore I wouldn't tell.
Now, to be honest, this bottom spot might have been one of the hardest parts to put together because I had to leave stuff off the cutting room floor, and there was a lot that I wanted to talk about. But I realized I had to put King Kunta on here, if only because it's a great song. It's a song that I would not let go of for the longest time when it had come out. It was a song that immediately hooked me, got me super jazzed for To Pimp a Butterfly, and showcases why Kendrick deserves to be in lanes of one of the greats. It's a track itself. It's a I'm Back Bitch single, talking about how Kendrick is still top dog. The title itself is a great sort of presentation of some of the themes showcased on To Pimp a Butterfly, with King being the best and Kunta being a representation of still being an oppressed black man. And that's incredible on itself. But with a lot of the spinning of yams and all that sort of stuff, talking about how he still would go back and rep Compton even in this current state and his current status as an artist. You know, that bass groove, it's got the funk, which is all over To Pimp a Butterfly. One of the best parts about that record, the bass groove on the song, is killer. The fun percussive sounds that coat the soundscape as well, super fun. The background singers, incredible. This song is a bop. And fun story about it, if I'm talking about why I love this song, around that time that it was pretty much all I spanned, I got so drunk that I clearly had the spins. I was in the car with my dad, and he told me, rap King Kunta. I knew he didn't want me to puke. Not then, at least. So he had me rap King Kunta. Shortly after he stopped at a 7-Eleven, I puked outside of his car. Now, while you won't see anything pre-Section 80 on this list, just because, like I said in my damn review, I love pre-Section 80 Kendrick too. His K. Dot days are nice. But his run from Section 80 onward has just been stacked with so many great tracks. However, Damn also has smaller representation. It's on here again, higher up, but still. DNA, though, this track goes hard. It's a track that, again, feels birthed out of the sample from the track before it in Damn, and sees him exploring so many different facets of black culture, because it's in his DNA. And I love the way he spins it. I love his wordplay, his rhyme schemes, his flow switch-ups are incredible. You know, the switch-up in the beat itself goes hard anytime it comes on. I'm losing my shit. That sample in the second half is incredible. So good at getting you just even more into the cut. It's an incredible song. It was a great single off of this record. And again, has that same excellence and, you know, lyrical nuance that Kendrick does so incredibly well. I mean, even the flow switch up into just the who he knows section, the I know murder, conviction, burners, boosters, burglars, ballers, dead, redemption, scholars, fathers, dead, McKinson, I wish I was fed, forgiveness. Like, that goes hard when it hits in the song. It's a moment that you just build yourself up to, and it builds us up to incredibly well. And yeah, I love DNA. It's a bop. It slaps. It slams. It's great.
Trading on the way the eyeliner thickens. I stand behind her and try to figure her vision. Her prettiness, the wit.
I made a reply to a tweet once when Shrek Knows Rap was talking about Section 80 and said that Section 80 is a classic outside of No Makeup, and I said, excuse me? No Makeup is an incredible song that sees Kendrick not only bringing up the themes that'll be explored throughout the record of domestic violence, it does it in a great way that can showcase male ignorance when talking about this particular subject, given the subject is about talking to a girl who faces her own domestic abuse issues. It's an incredible song. Colin Monroe's hook is great. I love how the entire track just talks about Kendrick's perspective before switching up at the very end, pulling the wool out from over your eyes and talking about why this woman wears makeup so much. It's great. It's got a smooth-ass vibe that fits Section 80 so incredibly well, and it's easily his first super, super catchy song, or one of his catchiest songs from his earlier era, because he did hooks on Section 80, like on ADHD and stuff, but I mean, no makeup, and it's probably because it's like a singer-ass singer singing the hook of the song, but it works incredibly well, and again, fits the overall tone of the track in a great way. I like a lot about No Makeup, and I feel like it's a track that should not be slept on, especially if you appreciate hip-hop that has a good sense of direction when talking about themes or a concept. It just is executed so incredibly well.
Ain't free. Living in captivity, raise my capillary, celery, telling me green is all I need. Evidently, all I see was...
You know, the higher we get on this list, the more I realized it was very hard to make the placement of this just how I wanted. But For Free, easily one of the best interludes in a hip-hop project. If only because it's got so much in such a little bit of time. It's got a mix of comedy, mixing in that, again, those thematics of, you know, black issues and the black struggle, while doing this slam style over free jazz style instrumental that just hits you like a whirlwind of verbiage across your face. Because, I mean, it's got its comedy, like in the beginning again, that he spins into the end. This dick ain't free. You looking at it like it ain't a receipt, like it never made ends meet in your leftovers and raw meats. This dick ain't free. Like the way that he presents it, it's got a twinge of sarcasm to it that feels very comedic, that works, before even the breakdown in the end, that where everything sort of coalesces more into a serious tone. With the fuck your sources, all distortion, if you fuck, it's more abortion, more divorce courts and portion, my check with less endorsement, left me dormant, building up through that, dust and doom, disgusted force with fuck you, then fuck you think it is in more shit, porcelain pipes pressure, bust him twice, choices devastated, decapitated the horseman, oh America, you a bad bitch, I picked cotton and made you rich, now my dick ain't free. God damn. God, and he just smacks you with it. Right at the very end of it. Like, it's so good. It's such a great, short track that embodies, again, a lot of the themes still so strongly at its core. I love it. And again, one of the best interludes in a hip-hop project, period.
No drill sergeant, the stress that weighing on your brain. It's me, your boogie, yeah, why'd you look you right on road brand?
The punch back into aggressive states across Good Kid, Mad City in the form of the second half of the title track, Mad City, sees Kendrick sounding like he's pleading for his life. You know, he tells a story within the lyrics of getting caught in a gunfight, and it sounds like you're cemented right in the middle of it. Like the beginning of it almost sounds like a warning before the gots come in, and it just slams. Again, the drop in this song is so good. I also really like MC8's contributions. It feels like, again, melding that old school West Coast flair that was all over Good Kid, Mad City, and with a contemporary twist in a marriage that works so incredibly well. Mad City has everything you'd want in like a gangster rap song, as far as like talking about the gangster life. It's got a hard beat, it's got real passion and a lot of nuance to its storytelling. Even the breakdown before MC8 comes in and the police radio signals just adds a lot to the ambience, building up to that old school G-Funk synth in the outro. It's so good. This track immediately upon first listen, similarly to some of the tracks I've talked about already, just floored me. It was the kind of kick up in energy. I feel like it comes at the perfect point in Mad City and acts as a great contrast to the smoother laced Good Kid. You know, it's a good ramp up from that in the best way possible.
Justification. I'm African American. I'm African. I'm black as the moon. Heritage of a smart killer. Caught in my residence.
The point on T-Pab where a lot of the frustrations of the black struggle in America coerces into the blacker the berry. While it's not gone throughout the last leg of the record, it all coerces into this track where Kendrick tackles a lot of what the themes the records had going on in really layered splendor, whether it's the really smooth opening to his verses themselves, where he opens them all with "I'm the biggest hypocrite of 2015," before diving into the conflict or the potential point he's at within the struggle as not only a black man in America, but a black voice for the voiceless. You know what I mean? It's a very powerful song that has a lot of strong resonance that I feel like is incredibly well constructed. It has that incredible hook by Assassin, who, you know, spins in, I said they treat me like a slave because I'm black. I'm not going to put on a patois in this video, because that'd be the fucked up thing, right? And I think the passion in the chorus and how strong the imagery is really cements a lot of that intensity that the beat itself and Kendrick's sort of delivery would lead to have. It's a great fucking chorus. God, it's so good. But no, the track itself is laden with powerful imagery, both in its verses and its strong chorus. It's got this almost menacing beat to it that is just well constructed as a whole. This track is incredible. There's a reason why Kendrick performed it live with the performance of him in the chains to really lay down that symbolic imagery incredibly well. I love this track. There's a reason why it's kind of gotten the accolades it has, because it is a powerful track on its own as a piece, and again, a sort of a climax to a lot of the themes expressed in To Pimp a Butterfly.
Your felony, Farragon to many and cool enough for the 70s. Nigga, payback's a bitch. You been living in debt with me.
The track that got me into Kendrick Lamar, Riga Mortis, is just Kendrick going in. I love this track immediately upon hearing it. It was similarly to King Kunta, a track that I just never put down. I love that horn loop. I love that drum line. I mean, I've rapped over this instrumental.
I'll forget you like Alzheimer's gonna be shining until I retire and rewriting the whole environment.
But I like Kendrick's just smooth ass flow that continues to just wave through each verses into the chorus so flawlessly. The third verse, when he just snaps, the point where my asthmatic ass can't keep up with Kendrick Lamar. I can do the whole track up to that point, and it just, every time I was listening to it earlier today on a drive when I was really sort of trying to feel out final potential switches on the list. It still gave me goosebumps, man. It's a really low-key, minimal song of Kendrick just popping off. It doesn't have quite the same depth that parts of Section 80 or any of his other projects like T-Pab and Good Kid or Damn have. It's just an incredible display of Kendrick's propensity to write really dope-sounding bars. Just the smoothness in the chorus alone have got me breathing with drag as I crack the egg in your basket, you bastard, a manly manson with madness, and just imagine the magic. I like the asses don't ask for your favorite rapper. It's just, it comes out the mouth so smoothly. The whole track is that. It's just this smooth-ass, creamy dose of jazzy-tinged hip-hop that hooked me and has not let go 10 years later. It's an incredible jam.
40-year-old telling his nanny he needed her. His family history pimping and banking. He was meant to be dangerous.
Every Kendrick record has an incredible closing track. Absol's outro almost ended up on here. While I don't like Compton quite as much, it feels sort of like a roll credits moment. It's still a great track. And Mortal Man was one of the last cuts I made on this list because it does a great job at tying up the thematics, having the poem, the Tupac interview. That whole track is a tour de force for Kendrick Lamar as a whole. But Duckworth, why I think Duckworth is easily his best closer out of all of his records, at least so far, is because not only does it sort of present, I feel like the Kendrick everyone's been wanting throughout this whole experience. It has this laid-back, sample-laden beat by Ninth Wonder that Kendrick owns and is produced so incredibly well. It also showcases something I've already touched on a lot, Kendrick's ability to tell a really good story and acts as a good sort of bookend to this record. And is also why I feel like anyone who says the record needs to be played in reverse is wrong, because this is a great closer to the record as a whole. You know, while it does start with just remember what happens on Earth stays on Earth, we're going to put it in reverse, that feels like it more ties into Kendrick throwing it way back to his pre-birth days. Because the story of this track about how his dad working at this chicken store and running into the guy that would eventually kind of help Kendrick become the artist that he is today, especially early on in his career, they had crossed paths earlier in life, and there was a circumstance where things could have gone differently, and Kendrick wouldn't even be around. His father would have been shot, you know, and how they play that into, or it's a well-told story. It feels like that sort of story you hear from somebody late at night who's trying to tell you about a really profound experience that they had thought about in their life. It's a really well-done story, you know, and I talked about the sort where I kind of teased the flow switch-ups, that one part in Duckworth where he just kind of flips his verses so loosely, but so perfectly on the beat. The whole track is just a great showcase of that. But I like how even post that, how it just comes to this really good point. How he could have, Top Dog would have ended up in jail, and he would have died in a gunfight, which also reverts back to the beginning of the record. It just ties the whole record back in on itself incredibly well, with the gunshot, the reversing from the end of Duckworth up through select portions of certain songs, which feels really purposeful. And it's a great track. It's a great closer. It's as a whole another reason why whenever people want to throw down Damn, I'm like, well, but this thematics, great passion. This is a great reason for that. I already did a Damn video. It'll be in a card, but yeah, it's tracks like this where I show up like, hey, Damn is worth a re-listen. It's not just Kendrick going contemporary. It's Kendrick doing contemporary with his own fashion incredibly well.
I'm more than another statistic right here, this courtesy of Compton. And you know we go hard. Love me on the streets like I'm...
The ultimate vibe song by an artist that's made a handful of vibe songs. Swimming Pools almost ended up on here because that song is iconic. Cushion Corinthians almost ended up on here because it's iconic. But Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe is a track that is vibey while also being purposeful for what Kendrick has to say, which is a lot of Good Kid, Mad City, a lot of Kendrick's career in general. But while being a vibe track, talks about how Kendrick doesn't fit in parts of the industry. It's just got the same kind of allegorical and metaphorical spinning that Kendrick does incredibly well over a smooth ass beat that has some fun moments like the off measure part in the chorus, a hell of a hook, and a great bridge. Like my New Year's resolution is to stop all pollution, talk too motherfucking much, I got my drink, I got my music, saying bitch don't kill my vibe. That's like one of my favorite lines in a Kendrick song. It's incredible. It does what a great vibe track does in presenting a vibe, but it does what a great Kendrick vibe track does in presenting purpose on top of it.
I get nostalgic for the guitar production on this track. It's so smooth. The way that the beat, the low end kick just stomps in underneath all that. It just envelops the listener in this vibe. And again, it has a great lead in on the record itself with the dad not wanting you to kill his motherfucking vibe. It's great, and it fits that sort of vintage tone that the dad would be listening to when throwing back himself. Incredible track.
And I like it. I like it a lot. I don't like any of the remixes. I mean, the Lady Gaga remix is neat, but I don't care about the Jay-Z remix. I think the Jay-Z remix is completely unnecessary. All remixes, like even the Black Hippie remix, I think it's cool. But I'll take the original any day of the week. It's a track that's been flipped around so much, but it got it right the first time. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe is essential. One of the best beats Pharrell has ever made, and acts as a good inverse to a lot of the turmoil and frustrations and you know, complete outright almost dread felt by Kendrick as a member facing the black plight. All Right sees a glimmer of that, you know, where I praise Black of the Berry for really painting vivid imagery about the black struggle. All Right showcases hope for things to change. And I really appreciate how Kendrick strikes that balance not only on To Pimp a Butterfly, but on this song in general. You know, the beat itself almost feels like it's made to uplift you, and Kendrick takes that wave and rides it to perfection. You know, the whole plight of, I'm fucked up, homie, you fucked up, but if God got us, then we gonna be alright, before Pharrell just rides that last line into a killer hook. Kendrick's flow on this track is so incredible, and like he still lays out the black plight in this track. You know, when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for the pay cut, but Hamasabi looking at you from the face down. With Mech 11, even Boom with the bass down, scheming before telling him about his life. You know, I love, again, Kendrick's way he spins rhymes. Incredible. And alright, he does that same thing that I said, you know, Black of the Berry paints a really vivid picture. He does that, but he still tries to cap it off with hopes that things will be better, or that knowing that at the end of the day, they're going to be alright. He's going to be alright. And this even acts as a good payoff from a planting moment from earlier on in the record where he goes, what you want, you a house, you a car, 40 acres and a mule, a piano, a guitar, and he thinks, see, my name is Lucy, I'm your dog, flipping what the Uncle Sam thing from earlier in the record before, again, similarly to Riga Mortis, just going in. The whole third verse of this song is just euphoric when he keeps riding it. Even when the beat comes in while he's riding, it's a good just hype moment. It's a hype moment on a hype track, and it's a great single. It's a great, powerful video, great single, great track, great hook, great beat. Easily one of the best things Kendrick Lamar's ever pulled together holistically as an artist. Yeah. Has been my favorite Kendrick Lamar song for a very long time. I'm amazed it never ended up on Good Kid, Mad City, but Good Kid, Mad City is a type of experience that it doesn't necessarily belong on there, but it acts as a good warm-up to that record as far as Kendrick riding on a super hard beat with a feature that also talks about ending up as another product of the streets with a lot of pain and frustration about it. Gunplay owns this fucking song. And Kendrick kills it with the verses, man. Talking about how, growing up as a child in the streets, you might emulate what you see. Being a product of the environment, you may end up another one with a gun in their hand, carrying out things that could negatively affect your future. It's an incredible song, truly. But also just the sprinkling of cartoon references with the cartoon samples in the beat and in his lyrics. You know, he has the line of so many wily coyotes in the room in the pre-chorus. He references Darkwing Duck and Scrooge McDuck and all these ducks. All the ducks! He flows so smoothly over these rattling hi-hats. It's an incredible track that, again, similarly to ones that I've mentioned from earlier on in Kendrick's career, once they grabbed me, they didn't let go. I love cartoons and cereal. It's, I think, a hidden gem in Kendrick's catalog. I think that he's firing off with some good cylinders. Again, showing up that after the smoothness and jazzier edge that coated Section 80, he might be going into some heavier bass-laden territories on his next record, which was Good Kid, Mad City, which had so many bangers on there. It's a great warm-up for that project. And again, given it has this sort of innocence painted in a lot of the, or at least the usage of innocence in the form of cartoons and cereal, you know. I was reading that Kendrick once said that sugary cereal is like the new opioids for the new generation because it's just something to hook people into something early on. And I mean, it's great. Super well poetically said by him. This track in general just has that juxtaposition of innocence and imagery and concept juxtaposed against the toughness in the streets. Great dichotomy, great tying together, great metaphor writing, and it's easily my favorite Kendrick Lamar song. Not only because of that, but it knocks hard. And that's my list of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs. What do you think about it? What are you upset your favorite song didn't end up on the list? What's your favorite Kendrick Lamar song? Let me know in those comments down below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like. If you want to see more of my music, gaming, and general notary content, be sure to subscribe. Next time I make a music list, it won't be about Kendrick Lamar. Next hip-hop related video I make won't be about Kendrick Lamar. It'll be about another rapper that I really enjoy. Let's say Danny Brown, maybe? Sure. Danny Brown video. That'll be the next music-related list that I make. Which, if you watch the channel, you probably already know that. But yeah, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to get more of my music, gaming, and general nerdery content. Special thanks to my patrons. If you want to join their ranks to get early access to content, exclusive content like my monthly updates where I tell you my tentative plans for the month while playing a video game. It's linked in the description. You also get polls and stuff like that. July is going to be a big month for the patrons, so be staying tuned for that. I'm going to get out of here, though. I've been Val Rack. You guys have good days, lives, and situations, and I'll see you another day.